This is Off Peak, the podcast about getting around in Los Angeles. And I'm Melissa Dudley. It's 6:30 a.m. and I'm at the Santa Anita Racetrack, standing in the middle of an intricate maze of cones, tennis balls, and bright blue barrels. And next to this maze is a row of parked city buses that are here for a very special purpose today: the annual Metro Bus Rodeo, which is less like a rodeo and more like the Olympics, but for bus operators. The very best in Los Angeles come together to compete, and they're judged intensely. They drive 40-foot-long buses on a timed obstacle course where every inch counts. Their parking is actually measured with a ruler, and they compete in an ultra-fast bus inspection that sometimes even involves finding a fake bomb. And while most of the bus operators I talk to know that this can all seem a little weird from the outside, for them, the rodeo is no joke at all.
I just got to prepare myself because, like I said, it's my first time and I don't want to look dumb out there. But yeah, I'm ready. You can hear my voice.
This is Jesus Segovia, who I talked to the night before the rodeo. He's in his early 30s and he's been operating buses for most of his adult life.
Full-time, 8 years. Part-time, a year and a half.
This was Jesus's first year ever being asked to compete in his division, so he was shocked when he made it to the finals. It's a big deal because no first-time competitor has ever made it this far before. So now, Jesus is on to compete against the top 25 out of nearly 4,000 full-time operators at Metro. And it's important to note here that they're bus operators, not bus drivers. A lot of operators would take serious offense at being called bus drivers because there's more to the job than that, which is why the rodeo involves way more than just driving. The preliminaries have just one part, a timed obstacle course, but operators at the finals have to go through 2 other challenges.
One is the pre-trip, where you walk around the bus, outside of the bus, inside the bus, find defects.
Do they purposely make things wrong with the bus?
Oh, yes. For example, look for the fire extinguisher where it's supposed to be. It might not be there. Could be a screw missing from a tire.
And the third part of the competition is called ADA, which is short for the Americans with Disabilities Act. It tests operators on the very specific protocol for getting someone in a wheelchair on and off a bus. And Jesus has been practicing a lot for this part.
I have a book, and during my breaks, I go through it with the ADA. I look weird. I mean, the bus is off, and I'm pretending I'm pushing a wheelchair in, and I'm securing the wheelchair. I'm saying the proper words, and I'm looking around and nobody's watching me. In a way, I don't care what people think, but I gotta do it.
And his wife, Lillian, has kind of become his tutor, because by now she knows the ADA script by heart too.
He'll start talking out of nowhere, and I already know the terms. So I know that he's practicing, but then I hear him when he missed something, or he'll tell me, listen, how does this sound? And then I tell him, oh, well, you can change a little bit. So he doesn't sound like he's being too mean or too nice, like he has a firm voice.
You critique him.
I do.
Jesus is the first one to compete tomorrow, which makes him nervous. But what makes him more nervous is one person in particular.
Oh my God. Juan Navarro.
Juan Navarro is from Jesus's division, so they know each other. They work together. And Jesus knows that Juan has been competing in the rodeo for 18 years. He's won it 3 times, placed second 6 times, and came in third just once. And in 2009, he was the champion at the International Bus Roadeo. So beating Juan Navarro will be no small feat. The original driving rodeo, spelled with an A before the D, as in road, was actually for truck drivers in the late 30s. It wasn't until the 70s that the competition was adapted for bus driving. And today, most major cities have a bus rodeo, and they send their best operators to the International Rodeo every year. The obstacle course is still based on the original one, designed for truckers. LA hasn't won at the International Rodeo since 2009, so everyone at Metro is itching for another win. When I get to the rodeo Saturday morning, the sun is just barely coming up, but there's already a crowd of operators and their families milling around, waiting to get checked in.
Okay, your name?
Zulma Torres.
Zulma Torres.
Number 6.
And the first person I meet is Zulma Torres.
Okay, Zulma, you're fine. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you.
Zulma loves her job.
Yes, actually, I know everybody, and I wait for them when I know they're not there.
My bus driver would never wait for me.
Oh, I do. I always like, oh, she's not here today. Or, whoever I know they're stopped and where they're getting off in case they fall asleep. All this I do for my passengers.
This is her third year at the rodeo, and this year she took first place in her division at the preliminaries, something a woman has never done before. So she's feeling really confident.
I don't study any books. Like I said, I do my job every day, and I've been doing it for 15 years the same way. I follow the rules, do the things that I'm supposed to, so my mind is still fresh all the time.
Do you think you're gonna win?
I think so, because I only have a few little mistakes that I could fix this time.
After I talked to Sulma, I head off to find Juan Navarro, the 3-time champ that Jesus told me about. And Juan is this incredibly nice, soft-spoken guy, without any of the bravado you'd expect from someone with his reputation.
You always end up hitting something, tapping it, even if it's just the edge of the cone, you still get lose points over that. But yeah, we all knocked down cones.
Last year, he lost first place by just 1 point. So he says this is really anyone's game.
Anybody could win it. The way I see it, it's like the Olympics. You have one shot to do it. You go to the Olympics, like you come to the rodeo, you have one shot. If you mess up, you're done.
Now it's time for the rodeo to get started, and Jesus is the first operator to go. I grab him right before he gets on the bus to do the obstacle course. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm very ready. Nervous, obviously, but hey, I'm here to have fun. I'm gonna do my best, and let's roll.
He gets into the driver's seat, and I make my way to the back of the bus, where there are 2 judges, one keeping time,
I am Yasmin Hayes out of Division 1.
and another deducting points for things like not using turn signals or braking too fast.
My name is Kushai Bates, and I'm a judge from inside the bus.
Jesus gets the signal to go, and he's off. The only person possibly more nervous than Jesus right now is his wife. Lillian is with their kids watching from the crowd, and she's filming the whole thing on her phone.
Division 3, Jesus Segovia. He's coming. Hey. Okay, don't wave, okay?
Don't wait, please.
Just a few seconds into the course, I hear this from the front of the bus.
Oh my God.
Jesus has hit one of the very first cones on the course.
No, Jesus, no.
But he quickly throws the bus into reverse, gets back on the right path, and hits the gas, trying to make up for lost time, because he has just 7 minutes to finish. There are judges outside of the bus too, stationed throughout the course, watching closely and deducting points for every cone Jesus knocks over or even taps, which is impossible to avoid entirely because this is much harder than driving a bus on his regular route. At one point, he has to back the bus up between 2 parallel lines of cones, the length of the entire bus. And the bus barely fits between them. There's just 10 inches to spare on either side. Another obstacle on the course is a simulated bus stop with a curb and a sign. Jesus yells before he pulls up.
Next stop, Olympic Soto.
And then, once he's come to a complete stop, 2 judges with yardsticks run up to measure how close he got to the curb. One judge measures at the front tire and one at the back, and then they smack the window of the bus to let Jesus know he can drive off. He races through the last little bit of the course, and it gets pretty bumpy at this point.
Go forward, go forward. Yes, no, go forward, go forward. Yes, baby, you got it.
And then Jesus floors it for the last stretch, where he has to get up to at least 15 miles an hour, but then stop within 6 inches of the last cone without hitting it. Jesus gets off the bus, and he's clearly disappointed.
The cones, they were really tight. It was not like the preliminaries. I did touch a lot of cones, and but hey, you know what? I had fun. I was nervous. I saw you holding on to the rails like crazy. Oh well, I'm done with the first course out of 3 right now.
Now, entering the obstacle course is Juan Navarro. I'm riding along in the bus again, and it's hard not to notice that it's a smoother ride with Juan driving. So I'm feeling a little nervous for Jesus. But then, Juan hits one of the first cones too, and later a few more. But from inside the bus, it's actually pretty hard to tell how well it's going. Operators say that you never really know how many cones you hit until you get your score, which doesn't happen until the end of the rodeo.
It was kind of difficult. I did mess up a few times, so like I said, it all comes down to inches, literally inches, so we'll see how it goes.
And Juan's mistakes do not go unnoticed by the other operators, who are all gathered watching from the sidelines, like Sulma.
He got stressed out and he got nervous because he never hits cones. So today he even hit the first one on the entrance. So I say, if he did it, then that means everyone's So it's everybody's game. Anybody can win this competition.
Now, Jesus is moving on to the second part of the competition, ADA.
Exercise tests your ability to successfully board, secure, and alight a customer.
This is the one he's been practicing so hard for, wheeling imaginary people in and out of his bus on lunch breaks. This is the one his wife has been helping him with. One of the judges for ADA actually sits in a wheelchair, playing the part of the disabled person.
Oh man, would you like lap and shoulder belt?
Yes, please.
And Jesus doesn't seem nervous at all.
Here we are at the rodeo.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Have a good day now.
You too.
How did that go? Did you feel like that went better?
Yes, way better than the course. And yeah, I think I did really good here at the ADA.
Which, he says, has a lot to do with his wife.
She would get mad at me, slap me in the head, whatever she had to do, and hey, it helped.
So what's next?
What's next is the pre-trip. I gotta make sure that everything's there. I better make sure the steering wheel's there.
Now, the obstacle course and ADA are front and center at the rodeo. You can sit at a table and watch. And after the operators are done with these two parts of the competition, they talk about how it went, kind of debrief with each other. But pre-trip is different. It's hidden all the way on the other side of the parking lot, because only the organizers know what 8 defects have been planted on the bus. And there is absolutely no debriefing with this one, because no one wants to tip off another finalist about what to look for. When Jesus gets back, he takes me aside to tell me how it went.
I found the package. I can't believe it. I thought it would be hidden somewhere, but to me, that was easy. That was so noticeable.
A package that's like supposed to be a bomb?
Yeah, I saw it. The package looked like a bomb. That was a little tiny package with a battery in it. I'm like, okay, I found it.
Where was it? I'm not gonna tell him.
Oh, okay. It's all the way in the back.
He found a lot of other things wrong with the bus, too. Like a mud flap was missing, a brake light was out. He even ended up with some extra time.
I went around the bus outside like 2 times, and I found one item that I did not mention. Like, wow. And good thing I double checked, and I told the timekeep, hey, how much time do I have? He says, you have like 2 minutes. Okay, good. Let me keep looking, whatever, So 8 defects. I hope I found all 8.
You don't know how many you got?
No, I don't know how many I got. They're not gonna say until the end.
So now Jesus is feeling a bit more optimistic. ADA was a breeze, and pre-trip was easier than he expected. There's a chance he made up for all the cones he hit on the obstacle course.
Oh yes, I still have a fighting chance. I mean, come on, Juan hit it, but he didn't hit as much as me. And I mean, it's the best of the best here. And I'm gonna say your best teacher is your last mistake. So now I know what to expect the next time I show up.
Juan finishes pre-trip, and like Jesus, he's not quite sure how many defects he found.
I could have found at least 5. I know 5 for sure. I mean,
and that's pretty good.
It's pretty good, but when it comes to the rodeo, I mean, every point counts. So 1, I mean, it can make a difference. It's like last year I lost by 1 point. It was just an inch, literally an inch I lost by. It's like the Olympics. You come out here, you're the best, and you just have a mishap and you can fall down to the end.
Now, all they can do is wait. Everyone slowly makes their way back to their tables, and Jesus is already with his family, waiting to hear who won.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear my score, and my family will laugh at me.
With a score of 668, third place, Juan Navarro, Division 3.
Juan comes in 3rd place, making this his 11th time in the top 3.
Hats off to Juan Navarro.
And the operator who took 1st place in the competition?
Herman Galvia. He'll be representing Metro in Reno, Nevada in the spring. Congratulations.
This is the 2nd time Herman Gavia has won the rodeo. Like Juan, he's been competing for nearly 2 decades. Jesus and Sulma don't place, but they still get called to the stage with their divisions to be recognized one by one. And Lillian watches from the crowd as Jesus walks up to the podium.
I'm overwhelmed right now.
You want a brand new
I'm
car?
so excited. I can't even speak right now. I'm just very proud of him.
She says it doesn't matter that he didn't win. Just making it here is more than enough. Jesus says there won't be much celebrating tonight because this was his only day off this weekend.
I gotta sleep early because I have to work tomorrow at 4:30. Yeah, back with the bus, people. But hey, gotta do it. Gotta pay the bills.
But he's trying to change things up.
On Monday, I'm gonna start class for being a line instructor. I'm gonna start teaching. Yeah, see, gotta move up the ladder. I don't just wanna be a bus operator my whole life. So I wanna be more than a bus operator. The teacher, mentor, even move up to supervisor.
And as for the rodeo,
I can't wait to come back again.
join us next time when we hear from Lelia Bailey Leahy, the first woman bus operator post-World War II. She broke nearly every glass ceiling there was to break. If you enjoyed this episode, like us on iTunes and tell your friends. Email us with your feedback about the podcast and story ideas at offpeak@metro.net. This episode of Off Peak was produced by me, Elissa Dudley, and The Glue. It was edited by Jim Gates, engineered by Ravi Carmen, with production management by Rachel Harper, for Metro. The music in this episode was created by Sun Little, whose self-titled album is available at sunlittlemusic.net. This is Off Peak.